Welcome to NNN News, the only unbiased, unfiltered, unplugged news podcast. This bi-weekly podcast will cover current events as well as deep dive into more obscure topics. As always, I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Neville Croft.
This podcast is so real, ravenous, and raw that I probably shouldn't say.
Yes, I like the mask. Neville looks very good.
Yeah, I'm really loving the Biden feels right now. I mean, we beat the Drumpf tards.
I haven't
Orange
taken these
Man's
sunglasses
going away.
off.
Oh, I should probably put mine on. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
Let me find them real quick.
Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, as long as we're still here. This week we have a very special guest with us. A good friend of our comrade Neville's, Ahkmed here. Now, Ahkmed is a pollster and has been doing a lot of work in this election, so we're going to be very curious to sort of hear some of the inside scoop on some of these Biden details. So yeah, let's not spoil anything. Let's just get right into the news. The news. Welcome to the recent news segment here. And again, I would like to introduce our guest here, Ahkmed. Thank you for coming, Ahkmed. How's your day been going so far?
It has been good.
Very busy, good. I imagine. I mean, is it true that you guys are still counting votes? I mean, to this day?
Oh yes. To be sure to count the vote, to make sure that the jinn that is the Orange Man does not steal the election.
Steal this insightful. I gotta ask. There was a lot of chatter about Alaska this election. I mean, I know for me doing the Norm at Night live stream, everybody was watching Alaska. It was, it was sort of a salmony red for a while, but it took about three or 4 days to call it here. What's with the holdup there? Was there any sort of maybe Republican fraud going on that you guys had to expose?
I believe so. Well, this is the thing, yes? Mm-hmm. The correct way to count the ballot, the ideal way, the way we have done in Michigan, for instance, you hold the ballot, yes, in the hand. You do not open the ballot, because that introduces the possibility of fraud.
Oh, okay. I understand.
No, you hold the ballot, and you close your eyes and you pray. You say, Allah, please tell me, what has this man voted for, of course. And of course, then Allah shall tell you who he had voted for. And in this way, you have no fraud. In Alaska, they open the ballot and then they change what it says to say that the man has voted for the jinn Donald Trump. You see, this is why they have stolen Alaska from Biden.
I thought they stole Alaska because we've seen in Wisconsin, Michigan, that they obviously let in some mail-in ballots and so on. That's what got Biden over the finish line. I don't think they did that in Alaska. I think that the fascists there prevented these completely legitimate votes from coming in.
That's actually really interesting. There's sort of a recent news story here that we recently learned that Alaska won the Republican seat for Senate as well as going for the djinn known as Donald Trump. You think it's possible that we'll be able to get the Senate back from Alaska? I mean, what are the odds here?
Okay. I do not know. I think that the Republican have power in Alaska. Yes, mm-hmm. The polar bears. They have weaponized them against the Democrats. You understand?
They weaponize. Can you say that again, please?
They have weaponized the polar bear against the Democrats.
The polar bears against it. Okay.
Yes,
hadn't heard
they have been hijacking the shipment of the mail-in vote. The polar bear go in and it shreds the votes. You see, and then they say, well, because the vote gets shredded, we just assume it is Donald Trump.
Oh,
that's pretty smart.
That's interesting. I would never have known that. It's so this is why it's so enlightening to get guests on like this who can just give us the inside scoop.
This is where I get my top news coverage for the polls here, Norm. Like Ahkmed, he's on the scene. I'm able to divulge this information.
And this is why we have tried to share the news of this, but the Twitter and the Facebook have suppressed it. They do not want the truth out. They want the Donald Trump to become the president again.
Yeah, I've been saying this for a while. It's obvious that all these companies are just clearly complicit in re-electing Donald Trump. I mean, why else would they? Well, would they? Everybody's pushing for him, right? Like, no one's pushing back on Donald Trump. No one even makes fun of him, in the media. So it's so obvious that that the Republicans were trying to steal this election this whole time. And I mean, you can't steal a landslide when Joe Biden has such a definitive lead. You just can't steal a landslide like that. And I think that's where they went wrong.
Look at on the Twitter. Do you see the number of the people that follow Donald Trump is so high, and then the number that follow Joe Biden is so much smaller? It is because they banned the people who follow the Joe Biden.
Oh, it was yeah. I mean, we've been saying for years that Twitter has a very obvious Republican bias. I mean,
I'd like to point out as well that Ahkmed has been in contact with Twitter,
really?
And that is why we've been seeing a lot of the the disputing evidence claims.
Were you one of the people who were affected by that ban wave? Because I know they banned a lot of us, good intentioned leftists.
Indeed, I was.
All those Republicans.
They have taken away my page. I was telling the truth about the Republicans stealing the things, and they took away my page. They do not believe in the truth of Allah.
I'm really sorry for your loss. This is truly
daunting.
I really am sorry for your loss.
Without your page, how are you trying to tell people then about the votes and how fairly they've been covered?
Well, I try to go to wherever they will help me. I go to you, yes, to spread the news of Allah. You understand?
Yes.
Just all the listener needs to know that the Republican is cheating. He must pray to Allah. Allah will tell him. It is simple.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a reasonable.
So you're saying that we should, if we have any questions about the election, we should just pray to Allah?
Yes, Allah has the truth. He gives truth to a man who asks.
And what do you I gotta ask you this here, and this is a kind of a personal question. Ahkmed. So if it's too personal, just shoot me down and tell me. Okay?
No, that is okay. That is okay.
Okay.
I
gotta ask you this. What's your favorite flavor ice cream?
That is very hard.
Because we got to know what you eat to celebrate Joe Biden's victory.
Just give me a moment to pray to. Allah. I must say raspberry. Raspberry is the best.
That's a good choice.
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen the whole hullabaloo about Nancy Pelosi, who was just showing off her fridge? People are making such a big deal out of this. They're like, oh my God, she's a member of the bourgeoisie. Like, come on, guys. Nancy Pelosi is a homie. I mean, like, Nancy Pelosi has always stood up for us.
She's a good, godly woman. I do not understand. A woman of Allah. Why would anyone be upset?
She has been in a bit of a dispute with AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and that other squad.
She is wrong in that. I must say by Allah, she is wrong in this.
Yeah, I just.
Wait, are you saying AOC is wrong?
No, AOC is correct.
They must make the list of the
people that worship Nancy. Yes, yeah. She normally is good, but in this, no. In this, she does the mistake.
You think this was a mistake?
Yes, she should stand with the AOC. The AOC does good.
So
making the list of the people.
So you think that she should reduce her gelato collection?
I think the collection is not important.
Each pint is...
Going back to that list you mentioned, Ahkmed. What did you mean by these lists?
Oh, do you see AOC has made a list of people who support the gin?
I think we might have that tweet.
The orange gin.
Yeah. Oh, I think I know what you mean now.
We have AOC making a list about make sure to list all the Republicans.
This is what must be done.
Yeah, I mean we got to make.
They must make a list and then punish those who have aided and abetted the gin Donald.
And never in history has making a list ever turned out bad. Like no one's ever been like, oh my God, they made a list of bad people, right?
Hopefully now we may be seeing something similar to the Nuremberg trials ahead.
Yeah, the Nuremberg trials.
Look at the success that was Stalin, the great Muslim Stalin.
Stalin?
What would his regime have been without the lists?
Oh, interesting.
That is true. That's true.
Yeah. I just want to get back to this because I actually think this is the point where we disagree here. I think it's okay for Nancy Pelosi to enjoy the ice cream she wants. I mean, she's a Biden babe. And Biden babe should be able to enjoy ice cream.
Just so long as it is not pork. No pork ice cream.
Let me zoom through this list real quick. Let's see if there's any pork ice cream on this list. I see chocolate. I see chocolate. I don't see any pork ice cream on the list, so I think we're safe.
Good. Then, yes. By Allah, she's allowed.
Okay.
It's a good thing that me and Norm are vegans.
Yeah, let her eat cake is what I'm going to say. Yeah, I mean, vegans, we get to enjoy the best ice cream. We get to enjoy, like yogurt, which is fantastic. I love yogurt.
Yes.
Yeah. A bit disappointed, though, Norm. Your wife, she isn't a vegan.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. I tried to convince her, but I guess she didn't like my cooking. She started eating.
You could always just take another wife.
Another one?
Another one. Jeez, yes. I can hardly handle the first one.
Wow, this is really progressive. I mean, I thought I was the only one that believed polygamy was the future.
I thought we said we weren't going to talk about that on the show. Texas becomes the first state to surpass 1 million COVID cases. That's a fun fact.
Oh.
Now, did you know more people have now gotten COVID and died from COVID than voted?
The funny thing is? The funny thing is, you know what state Texas is, right? So it's a red state, and it has over 1 million COVID cases.
Can I do not... what is this you speak of? The cause...
The COVID? Coronavirus?
Yes.
The Trump virus. The Trump virus.
Oh, yes. Okay. The curse of the djinn.
I see. I see. Yeah. Just a communication error here. Keep in mind, guys.
The curse of the djinn. He has killed. How many has he killed now? Many.
1 million in Texas.
That's
just what they reported on the.
And he kills even his own. You see.
Yeah, he eats terrible.
By Allah, truly.
It is awful. I mean, this is one of the and we've often tried to. You're the first biblical scholar we've managed to get in here. If you guys don't know about Ahkmed's a theologian at Berkeley, and we're lucky enough to be able to get a little bit of Ahkmed's time here to talk about this sort of stuff. Now, is it true people are saying that we may be seeing signs from Allah that this is the end?
I do believe, yes. By Allah.
And how many?
It says in the Quran that when the djinn come to rule the earth, that is near the end. I do believe.
Okay. Thank you. And again, thank you for coming on here as a representative of the Muslim community.
Of course.
The other thing that blows my mind here is that even we thought this whole thing was going to go down with Biden, but it seems like things are sticking around right now with this COVID virus. Like there were more new cases.
Well, Trump virus. Trump virus.
Sorry, the Trump virus.
Well, the curse of the djinn will probably only pick up now that he has been removed. He will become spiteful. We must, in the fullness of time, we must banish him in the name of Allah.
So we need to exile him. Could we exile him
is anyone getting a bit worried about the lawsuits that he's sending
in? We must get we must have a communion of the greatest of the Imam. Yes, and together we can forge the gates to the Chateau realm and then cast in the djinn. Therefore, saving ourselves.
Yeah, I'm into magic, but I think this is a little deep for me. I still need to do some studying before I can fully understand this. Is this similar to your witchcraft?
No, this is a little deeper. I'm sorry to talk out to the theological.
Speak as deeply on these topics as you want. It just enriches the show, and I think that's what makes this such a powerful moment. That we get to have this hyper-intellectual
Ahkmed, if you didn't know, Norm is a witch as well.
Yeah, I'm a witch, so I know a little bit about...
A witch?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm the...
So, Norm practices witchcraft.
Yeah, but I've been known to practice witchcraft,
It's good, it's no ham in the witchcraft, though, yes?
There's no ham, no, it's well...
Oh, good. Yeah. I'm glad.
It's a ham-free covenant that we're in. It was really a revolutionary thing at the time to go for the ham-free covenant, but we decided, we have to make sure that this is a Muslim inclusive covenant. I mean, a lot of people in the witch community actually reject Islam So I'm trying to open up the witch community to Islam because I think in many ways Islam and witches are like this.
You know, Allah is where all the power comes from in the beginning. So
Exactly.
being in good terms with Allah gives you better at the witch, yes, at doing the witching.
I really got to say here, one of the things that I think is amazing about Joe Biden is that he realizes that his Biden plan is it's so great that we don't even need the facts to back it up yet. We really don't. I mean, if you look at the Biden plan here, Biden wants to lower the eligibility age for Medicare to 60. He might even lower it to like 50, right? I mean, Biden's that much of a maverick when it comes to, amazing healthcare and great, great support.
We need to trust the Biden plan.
He's the anointed one of Allah.
Yeah,
what he does is good.
If he's anointed by Allah, even better. I mean, he's also a nice politician, right?
We have to trust the Biden plan.
Yeah, just trust in the Biden plan. And I have to wonder, like, why is it that people...
You heard about this lockdown he wants to do?
Lockdown?
To do away with the curse of the Dajjal.
Yeah,
yes?
No, I mean, whatever. I mean, I think that's the thing about the Biden plan. Is that it's over encompassing, right? So he tells us what to do, and we stay safe. It's that easy, and we just have to follow every single word he tells us because there's none of it's bad. It's everything he says is it's fantastic. It's a gift from Allah, right? Everything he says. You
have heard of this the 4 to 6 week period? Yes. Well, no, I will have you know. Yes.
Please tell me about it.
Yes. He's planning on doing the lockdown for the 4 to 6 week, yes? Well, I will tell you, in the theology, yes, to assemble the imams and then to open the portal to the shadow realm, it takes approximately 4 weeks. And I would imagine assembling the imams could take a week or two. I am telling you, by the time the lockdown is over, the curse of the Dajjal shall be gone. He is working to assemble the teams of imam that is necessary.
It could be done in as soon as 4 weeks?
I believe so.
Well, where's he going to get this spiritual team from, though?
Is there Muslim X representation on his
Don't
cabinet?
you know he was one of the greatest imams in history?
Wow, actually I didn't know that.
He himself is a great imam.
Wow.
Oh. He does not speak of it much. He is a very humble.
It's
humble Biden.
Well, he did say inshallah, I think, during the debate.
Oh, did he? I didn't hear that. Biden has a way, a certain way about him where it's like he doesn't have to explain his plan. He doesn't have to explain what the Biden plan is.
You just know it's something you need to trust.
You just know it. I mean,
he's learned the power. Yes, he's prayed, and as God has given him the power. You simply look into his eye, and you can see what he planned to do. He does not need to explain.
He doesn't have to. Yeah, exactly.
The words are unnecessary.
He doesn't need to explain what the Biden plan is. We all know what the Biden plan is. We're living. I mean, look at me. We're living the Biden plan. It's
we're not
like,
free just yet. We're not free just yet.
Blumph
is he's doing lawsuits right now. He's got that. What's his name? Rudy Spaghetti something or other going around. It's like alleging illegitimate votes and all that nonsense.
A little later on in the show, we have a segment marked out for the whole quote unquote voter fraud thing. Like, I'll cut it to you this way, guys. Nothing fishy happened this election, so don't even look.
We need to be
for
clear.
The polar bears.
Yeah, we need to be absolutely clear to the viewers. There is no voter fraud.
Yeah, there's no voter fraud.
Except for the red states.
Only
voter fraud in red state.
Yeah, except
the red states. Yeah. All of them are voter fraud.
Sure, we can include some voter fraud.
Wait, Ahkmed, did you discover evidence of voter fraud in the red states?
Oh yes, I was telling guys of the polar bear in the Alaska. There are others. Yes, they've cast a spell upon the continent of Florida to force Floridians to vote for the Dajjal. They have done this by they take the ballot. Yes, they use their magic. Their Allahian magic, and they make upon the ballot to say instead of Joseph Biden to say Donald Trump twice. This is how they have won the Florida. What they did not take into account, though, all of the votes for Joseph Biden out of Florida were written in manually by the proletariat that voted for him there.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. Jesus, Thanksgiving's coming up, and I have to wonder. Well, first off, let's do a quick halal check. Is Thanksgiving halal?
Halal? Thanksgiving? I do not know of this.
Thanksgiving, it's a holiday where a bunch of white people celebrate their colonialist past.
Oh, you'll need to forgive Ahkmed. He's from Sweden.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, I will say this about the colonialism. It is when the white people do it is not like when the Muslim have done it. When the Muslim do it, it is in accordance with the will of Allah, like the Mughal Empire, yes, the Ottoman Empire. It is good. When the white men do it, it's very, very bad, very bad. And those of the white men who renounce their demonic ways, you see this.
I get what you're saying. It's really important that we need to look critically at our long-standing traditions, such as Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of these things. They may seem like fun at the time, but they're not only spreading the coronavirus, they're also spreading, wrong think. They're spreading all these negative ideas, white supremacy,
racism, fascism, Islamophobia,
essentially
transphobia,
Thanksgiving
homophobia.
is, at this point, Thanksgiving is basically a Nazi rally. Like, if you have Thanksgiving, you're a fascist, and just stay home.
It is true.
It's important that the kids stay in school, and board in school, and have absolutely no contact.
It's important that they are taught of the Quran in school as well.
No, exactly. Like we need everybody to be Muslim studies.
What is Thanksgiving even about? Is it like white imperialists thanking the natives for having their land stolen from them?
It's something equally gross, I think. Right? And whenever a kid goes home for Thanksgiving, they're just risking more and more of a chance that they're going to be corrupted by the values of their parents. Like, it's the government's job and the job of these universities to instill good, moderate values in these kids, and giving them more time with their parents. It doesn't help.
How do you suggest we solve this then?
It's like I've been saying.
Bad parents should not be allowed around the child. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They should take the child and put in school forever.
Yeah. Kids should just stay at school. No one should go home for Thanksgiving. In fact, don't even Zoom Thanksgiving, because you're just wasting energy on a fascist holiday, basically.
Can we change Thanksgiving to maybe Liberation Day or something, like the day Joe Biden saved us from Blump?
Yeah, we can give Thanksgiving to Joe Biden. Call it Joe Biden's.
We can just call it Biden Thanksgiving Day, because we're giving thanks to Joe Biden for saving us.
Yeah, that works. I think we'll workshop
Triumph of the great Imam Joseph Biden.
Yeah. God, Biden is such an amazing man, and it's somehow, even before he's even become elected president, he's already set up a task force that's going to destroy the coronavirus.
Well, if Biden's made a task force, you could be certain that you'll be safe to sleep well.
Exactly. And these guys are smart. They're saying, hey, there's going to be no nationalism with the vaccines. If there's a vaccine that works in another country, or a vaccine another country's trying to sell it to us, we need to buy it, because it's what's the word you use? Halal? I gotta ask you this. How long do you guys think until there'll be a vaccine?
What did you say, Norm?
I do not.
How long until you think there'll be a vaccine?
I do not worry about the vaccine. The vaccine is just all it is the smoke signal. It is to say we do not signaling to the jinn that populate the world. We do not understand your curse. No. It is not the vaccine to be worried about. It is when the Daijin Donald Trump will be banished.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying is that we just need to, the top priority is to get rid of Donald Trump, and then the vaccine will just come.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And
on a side note, has anyone else been seeing these like terrifying new memes that have been popping around against Biden? Like particularly ones with like what's his name, like Clarence Thomas going around.
who's Clarence Thomas?
I think he's some like white supremacist justice person.
Okay.
Ahkmed, have you seen any
He's
of those?
against the will of Allah. Yes, I have. He's a great infidel. And those who make the joke, the funnies of him is also the great infidel.
Interesting. So how does this joke malign Biden?
So I've been seeing now that they kind of make Joe Biden out to be some strange, senile, lost old man. And apparently Joe Biden wronged Clarence Thomas at some point, but that's impossible because Joe Biden's never done anything in his life wrong.
Yeah, no. I'm always wary anytime anybody speaks ill of Joe Biden. Period. So I'm already thinking that it's somehow this guy's fault. Let me look at if I can see this meme here.
It's like they mock Biden as well for his true international pressure remark, even though that was a serious thing. Like Joe Biden was addressing a serious international policy crisis.
Yeah.
And they mocked him and said he was senile and couldn't pronounce his words properly.
Yeah, no, Joe Biden totally understands exactly what he's talking about, like 24/7. You know, there's some of these people who don't understand what they're doing is have you guys seen what cops have been up to lately?
No, they've been
unfortunately.
Lately, cops have been shooting people while they're off duty. Can you believe this? So this is a story where this off-duty police officer shoots a carjacking suspect. And this is just absolutely grotesque because...
Was the suspect a POC?
Let me just scan through the video here. To
No need to scan. Let me just... I'll say a prayer for a moment.
Okay.
Istakhala, yes. He was POC. It's clear.
Oh,
Allah
so it was a racist attack then, of course.
Yes.
Why am I not surprised?
It is a racist police.
Are we going to have a moment of silence for this man who was shot? Dead.
Ahkmed, could you hold a short ceremony, please?
Allah, please guide this poor man's soul to the holy land of the afterlife, and give him the 72 virgins which we know he deserves. Allah, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you everybody for coming to this service. I really want to apologize to the family of this carjacker. It wasn't right what happened to your kin. It's just screwed up that we live in this system where police feel like they have to do their job when they're off hours. Like, police should just learn. No one likes you for the 8 hours you work every day. No one's gonna like you if you work extra, right?
It's really upsetting. I don't have words for this. I mean, I don't feel safe.
If my tear ducts were not teared out by the polar bears of Alaska, I would shed a tear.
That's a powerful statement. That really is a powerful statement.
I just want him to go. I just want Trump to go.
We all want Trump to go. He can't go. You can't go, Nev, because he's just hiding in his office right now. We're sitting back here. We're sitting back here looking really cool in our aviator glasses. Donald Trump is in the Oval Office crying like a little bitch and eating McDonald's and KFC. But we're here being cool, right? Like, just remember that. We're the cool ones.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry. I just get a little worked up over this. I know Joe Biden's won, but he's trying to steal it from Joe Biden.
I know.
He's trying to steal the election.
I know things are scary right now. I mean, it's like people are trying to talk about like reducing the COVID restrictions. I know that's scary. I know, like, because obviously we're getting really comfortable right now.
Do they want to kill people?
I don't know, man. So
is my life not worth anything to these people?
You know, they're trying to revert a lot of the COVID stuff if we can't. It's too soon, guys. We need to stay closed. Just, as long as we can. As long as we need to.
Astaghfirullah, it is true. Until we do away with the Dajjal news, thunder curse.
Yeah, and everybody make sure before you go outside this morning, that you
say a prayer to Allah.
You say a prayer to Allah. That's how you start. Here's what you do. Start the day. Say a prayer to Allah. The second thing you do, you go onto your cellular telephone before you go outside, and you check what danger tier COVID's at. Check the government danger level before leaving your house, right? Because if they say COVID, if they say we're like a tier 1, like, come on, dude, you're not even leaving your house. Like, get Uber Eats, right? Like, get Uber Eats and sit at home. True. It really is. We just need to listen to what the government tells us and do exactly as they say. And it doesn't matter if things close down again, because it's better that it closes down again than we risk anything, right?
I mean, I'm quite fortunate that I don't leave my house and I wear a mask 24/7. I'm as safe as I can be from the Trump virus.
I am fortunate that Allah has told me that I neither shall contract this curse nor shall I give it.
Wow, that's a powerful.
Wow.
Can we? If only we could bottle that and sell it.
Can we do jazz hands for that, please?
That concludes the recent news segment. Everyone make sure to stick along here where we get into the guest segment. We ask Ahkmed some hard-hitting questions about what it's like to be a pollster in America in 2020. The answers will surprise you.
Okay, everyone, welcome to the guest segment here. So we're going to be asking some very hard-hitting questions. So a good friend of mine, Ahkmed Barakat, a theologian from originally from Sweden, but has relocated to Berkeley. Now, Norm, what kind of questions have you got here?
Well, we got a pretty loaded set of questions here. Now, I got to ask you this, and people who don't know, you can just explain sort of your some of your personality traits, some of your identities. So, in reality, what is it really like to be, both trans, Swedish, and a pollster? What is that combination like?
It is a glorious thing, I think. Yes. Well, you see, I was when my parents have moved to the Sweden for the Holy Caliphate of the Sweden. Yes. Mm-hmm. It was the great conversion of the Swedish people into the true religion of Allah.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was born. Yes, just a meager, a humble little girl. Yes. Well, I realized when I was a child that a humble little girl I could do many things for Allah, but not as many if I was humble little boy. So I asked Allah, and He instantly changed me into being a little boy.
Wow.
It's very powerful, the will of Allah.
Was your family accepting of this?
My family was overjoyed. By Allah, I've never seen such happy people in the whole of my existence.
Yeah. Well, is it true that your parents weren't Muslim and that you sort of came upon that yourself?
I believe my parents were always Muslim. They just did not take the faith
seriously. They just didn't know it.
Okay.
They practiced the slightly wrong form of the Islam. You see, yes, they do not see the truth of the Allah. So yes, it is a matter of the keeping of the book of the Quran. You see, there is a single letter in the center of the passage of the centermost passage in the centermost. The center of the center of the center, if you see, yes. But in the English, when it is translated, you could say it goes from being a word with the A to a word with the E in it. It would make a very big difference in the meaning of the whole of the Quran. You see, they worship and they believe in the one that has the A, when in truth, the E is the correct. You see.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's really neat.
So, Ahkmed, we know now that you are obviously a ballot boy every 4 years. What do you do then when you're not collecting the ballots?
I pray. More so than anything, I pray. You see, yes. It is the most important thing in life is to pray to the Allah. The other thing I do is I teach. I teach the theology and as well as the physics. Yes.
You teach physics as well?
Oh yes, to the children. You know, the most important thing about physics. This is not. Many people do not realize. Many students do not realize. It is having good knowledge of Quran is the most important thing about the physics. If you want to do well in the physics, you must memorize your Quran.
Yes. Interesting. You know, I don't really follow politics too much. Do you happen to know what happened in the Senate? I know as a pollster you're a little more tied in than we are.
Oh, well, yes. You see, I do believe that by the will of Allah and by the truth of the world, every single one of the Senate seat was won by the good Muslim Democrat.
We won them all.
Every single one. Oh yes. You see, there's a lot of fraud in this election.
Okay.
You see, the haram and infidel Republican, the red ones, the elephant, yes.
Okay.
The elephant is an evil creature, and the Republican are worse. And they steal away much of the Senate. I do not know how much they will be able to steal in total. It is a concern of mine, must say.
Interesting.
Okay, now on to the next question. Do you believe that there should be a recount in Alaska? Because right now, as we stand, the POC Eskimo vote has not been counted. Their ballots have not come in just yet.
No, this is the thing, yes? You know why the ballot have not come in and not be counted.
Why is that?
I have mentioned it before, earlier. It is the action of the saboteur polar bear, yes? You see, the Eskimo, they bring in the ballot on the dog sled. Yes. The dog sled is overrun by the polar bear. And
are you saying that the Republicans have trained polar bears?
Yes. Well, yes.
Okay.
I'm not actually. I am not sure. See, I'm not sure if they have actually trained the polar bear, or if perhaps, and this is maybe a little bit too much into the theological realm. I believe they have practiced dark Daijin magic to turn themselves into the polar bear.
I knew it. I've been saying this for years. That they've been using occult magic in the Trump sphere, and I'm glad that we finally have somebody who agrees with me. Nev, you laugh at me.
By Allah, you are correct.
But I knew that there was some sort of Druidian thing going on. I mean, this is what the stone circles are about, guys. Wake up.
We need to get lawyer Andy on this. If there's anyone who can solve this case, it's him.
We need to get him. I mean, the Eskimo vote needs to be counted, guys. We need
by Allah, it does.
In Alaska. You know, do you think that the poll integrity saving system can be applied to save Alaska from itself?
I do not know. The problem with it is the poll integrity saving system saves traditional fraud. It does not save the newfangled fraud of the Republican of shredding the ballot with the polar bear claws.
So there's no. Are you telling me that the poll integrity? Are you telling me when we designed the poll integrity saving system, we didn't include a way to get to count ballots that have been attacked by polar bears?
I believe so. And it deeply troubles me. I know it is very sad.
There's a clear error in our calculation.
I mean, the poll integrity saving system did work in Wisconsin and Michigan. I mean, we saw what was it?
But they did not have the polar bear in Wisconsin and the Michigan.
True. But once we get those PLC Eskimo votes in, we can probably be able to make.
But I tell you, the problem is that the polar bear have destroyed the PLC Eskimo vote.
Right. From what I'm gathering here, Alaska is probably a swing state if these weaponized polar bears were not present.
Yeah. Oh no! It's no! It's not a swing state. It is a blue state.
Well,
thorough blue state.
Really, the Eskimo vote is that substantial.
Oh, yeah, there are more Eskimos that live in Alaska than there are men that live in Texas. Didn't you know?
No, I was not. I mean, I knew Alaska was big. I didn't know Alaska was that big.
Oh, yes, they dwell in underground caverns where they worship the great Allah and follow his great prophet
there's
Muhammad.
Muslim Eskimos that are living underground in Alaska, and they would have swung the vote?
No, they did, but the Republican have done the fraud.
Okay, move on to the next one. So, there have been miscounts where it shows that PLCs have indeed been voting for the Orange Tyrant. Is it possible for a PLC not to vote Democrat? What are your thoughts on that?
This is the classic problem in the United of State. Yes, Not a problem as much in the Sweden, yes, especially after the great Caliphate of Sweden. But in the United States, it's been a problem for a long time. You see the KKK men, yes, the men that look like ghosts with pointy head, you know?
Yes, yes, they terrify
They
me.
stand,
They're in my dreams.
they stand outside of the poll place in some area, and they say to the black men that go in, they say, you do the vote for Trump, or I do the shoot at you.
Wow.
And I know it's
wow.
Most of the good and courageous black men overcome this, yes, and they vote anyway for the Joseph. But some of them, and I do not blame them. I would not call them a coward,
Oh
of course.
God!
But they it is too much. They cannot risk themselves and their family in the being of the shot of the
Did
ghost
you see
point
this
man.
happen yourself?
I have many a time when I would do the count. Yes. Wow. I would go around to check. Some of them have them standing on the guard.
And people ask why we think postal agents need guns. This is exactly why, folks. You know, I gotta ask this. There's been no documented voter fraud for Joe Biden, but let's say there was a situation where, for example, a group of polar bears stole an election. Would it be justified, you think, to have a little bit of voter fraud for Joe Biden? Like just a little bit. Because I mean, like, what about if it's just there's just like a couple thousand votes? Like we know about the votes, but like it's just like a little bit.
You know, it is like the problem in the Quran, yes, and this is described, yes.
Please
you imagine instead of saying the state and the government, yes, you say it is man and woman in the relationship together, yes. Mm-hmm. Now imagine the woman has gone to cheat, yes. Does this justify the cheat of the man? The Quran is clear. It says no. What to justify is the man does to take the sword, yes, and remove from the woman the head which she does not know how to use, in that she cheat. This is what should be done with the Daijin Donald Trump when he goes and cheats with his polar bear.
So you're saying we should? You're saying we should detain Donald Trump?
Yeah. Should we arrest him?
Arrest him?
Oh no. Well, he's evil Daijin. You should cast him into the shadow realm.
Cast him in the and with that, is that a magical spell we use?
Well, you need the greatest of the Hammams. This would include the Joseph.
No, you must be a good witch if you don't know what the shadow realm is.
I'm just checking, dude.
It is okay. It is a deep theological thing, yeah.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Now, can you just ask the last question?
Yes, of course. Okay, Ahkmed. So, is it possible that there is just as many fake votes out there for Trump? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
That's a dumb question, Nev. Of course. I mean, we just spent how long did we spend talking about this now?
No. All of the evil vote is for the Trump. All of the evil does the vote for the Daijin. Yes.
Okay.
And not the good Imam Joseph.
You know, thank you again, Ahkmed, for joining us here. We really appreciate your
thank you for having me.
Theologian impact here. We're going to continue in a little bit here with stories we want to discuss, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But again, I'd like everyone to thank Ahkmed for coming in here. Ahkmed, is there any social media you want to point out, or are you mostly focused on your work? There would be, but
of course, the problem is I had the social media dedicated to showing the fraud before, but the Twitter has removed.
You know, what are you going to do with those darn what do you guys call them? Not Israelites. What are the guys you don't like?
The white men?
Yeah, those darn whiteys.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ahkmed, for coming on and telling the viewers the truth. I mean, these are dark times right now. I mean, Joe Biden might have the election stole from him. It is vital that we have voices like Ahkmed here.
Okay. Well, stay strong, stay black. We'll see you guys in the stories we want to discuss. Welcome to Stories We Want to Discuss. Again, it was really awesome having Ahkmed, the theologian, on here. But now that we're done with that, let's get to some of the things that were voted on in the ballot. Now, Nev, Did you follow any of the particular ballot propositions, or did you just sort of just follow the Trump v. Biden thing?
I've mainly been following the Trump Biden allegations of fraud that's going on. I mean, there is no fraud. I'm going to remind our viewers again that there was no fraud. Joe Biden never cheated. It was a completely legitimate election.
Yeah. So the first extra ballot question we have here, the one is we have Prop 13 here, which is a sort of, it was rejected, and it was this big thing that was going to change how property tax works in California, and essentially it was going to make it so that everything became much more expensive. And I don't know why everyone was so against this. I thought it seemed like a very fine idea to me. I mean, it had a lot of good social plans it was putting forward. I know that because obviously California has a lot of problems they need to solve, right? They have a big homeless problem. Not that there's a problem with the homeless. They have a lot of problems they need to solve, and money can always help with that.
I trust the Biden plan.
Yeah, I mean, Biden is.
I'm not going to question anything. It's not in my jurisdiction to question anything Biden does.
Yeah, and I'd be curious to hear how Biden feels about this Prop 13. I imagine he's probably pretty favorable about it, given his other sort of pushes for higher taxes. And keep in mind, these are higher taxes for the top 1% of the population. So your average Joe Blow, it's not going to affect, but very wealthy people are gonna have to pay the price. You have to pay the price to be wealthy, which I think that makes perfect sense. You can afford it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great thing that Biden is getting rid of the blunt tax. I mean, that's great news.
Yeah, there should be no tax loops. I think billionaires should pay 110% income tax, right?
Oh, of course.
Give money back into society. I don't think
it's just a brilliant plan. I mean, why wasn't Biden president sooner?
Yeah, I don't know, and I gotta wonder, how long do you think this Biden presidency is going to last for?
Well, I'd like to see it last more than 2 terms. I mean, I think we've struck gold with Biden.
I mean,
I think we need to change it.
When you have such a brilliant leader like Joseph Biden, the natural one is to have it go on for longer. So yeah, I think if it's possible from a legal standpoint, I think more than 4 years, give him 10 years. Right?
I think even more than 10 years. I mean, Biden just should be president for life.
Yeah, right. As long as that is, I don't know if 10 years might be close. He's getting a little older. You think that they have anything to revitalize Biden, or that's behind the scenes, or no? You think that
do we need
natural
to?
spring chicken? I get what you're saying.
He's spry. He's quick-witted. He's fast on his feet. I mean, have you seen how he runs in? Like he always sprints in.
Yeah,
like really high energy.
Signs up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Biden is the cool person of America.
Yeah, uncle.
Uncle. Non-gendered uncle, of course. I don't want to assume anything.
Yeah. No.
Joe Biden might identify as a woman or
Biden has yet to comment on his trans identity, so it's totally possible.
Are you suggesting that Joe Biden has transitioned or is transitioning?
I'm just saying we don't know, Nev. I'm just saying we don't know, and I'm not gonna hear it in the news. We don't jump to conclusions here. We make sure we have hard facts before we report them. So I'm just gonna tell you guys the God's honest.
There's no room for opinions here.
No room for opinions.
Hardcore facts.
I don't know if Joe Biden has transitioned yet or is going to transition, but I'm just saying we there's no confirmation he hasn't or won't.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm so glad that there's a few Republicans who are accepting of this and are accepting that the Biden plan is the only way to go. I mean, we have a sort of a. If we're making a list off of what AOC told us to, a list of all these Trumpers, well, I think we also need to make a list of who we can, sort of spare during the uprising.
Yeah, they can be pardoned.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these are the people who they're nice people. They voted for Biden basically, right? And I'm glad that we can see that the Republicans can see the errors of their ways, but the fact is, as long as you identify as a Republican, you're still a fascist.
Yeah, of course.
That's just sort of the brass tacks on that. Is we
So-
need these people just to completely denounce the Republican Party, denounce their religion, denounce whatever, and just go with Joe Biden.
Well, what I'd like to see is these Trump fanatics, and particularly high-ranking Trump officials. So it's the Nuremberg trials, so we put them on trial for their crimes against humanity, and hopefully give them nice long prison sentences. I mean, I'd love to see folks like Mike Pence, Ivanka, just tossed in. We don't need their hateful ways anymore. We've got Joe Biden now.
Yeah, all the Trump kids should be in prison. I think.
Even Barron, he's like, I've heard horrible rumors about him. Apparently, he's a KKK member.
Juvenile detention centers, or Supermax, whatever.
Maybe a re-education facility. He's still young. He can still change his ways.
Plastic mind, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Definitely off to boarding school, but bare minimum. It's. I'd say one thing that we've learned that's good, and there's a lot of people are saying that this election is past the point of a steal. Like, there's no chance the Republicans can steal this from us at this point.
No.
The results won't be overturned. We own the courts. We own the people who are counting the ballots. We have nothing to worry about, guys. I mean,
the only fear is the Supreme Court. I mean, after the passing of...
Don't even say her name. Don't even say her name.
Okay. But, there's a lot of bad people on there. We've got, Amy Phony Barrett there.
It just keeps getting worse every couple of years.
I mean, I think that the Supreme Court will favor Joe Biden because
I think we
it's
should
it's the common sense thing to do.
I think we should just flush the Supreme Court. Like, let Joe Biden pick a whole new round of Supreme Court guys, and build
Joe
it
Biden
however
did
he
say
wants.
pack the court, so I maybe see more Joe Biden supporters there.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard that Dustin was going for a position on that if they're able to pack it. So I maybe seen Justice Levitt.
Yeah, why don't we get younger folks on the court? I mean, they're in the court for life. Wouldn't it make more sense, like, to get a bunch of 15-year-olds on the court or something?
Yeah, I mean, you could have someone like maybe Cardi B on there. Someone
Or
who's
what's that
quick-witted with a lot
girl's
of
name? Greta Thunberg. Can we get Greta Thunberg on the Supreme Court?
Oh, that's a brilliant idea. Or who was the one who went to the D and like Billie Eilish? We should have people like that on
Billie
it. Like,
Eilish
smart
on the Supreme
young
Court.
people.
Yeah, smart young people who are going to be on the court for a long time, and who can vote Democrat for a long time. I mean, because why we've learned. Okay, we learned from RBJ, right? We can't waste Democratic votes with old people. We need young, spry Supreme Court justices who can stay alive through a Donald Trump presidency, right? And it won't screw us over like clearly.
Well, I think we've all suffered. I mean, I think everyone really has suffered some psychological trauma from the Trump presidency. I mean, I have at least.
Yeah, I mean,
I have to visit my therapist 5 times a week.
5 times a week? Yeah, exactly. Gosh, I'm glad that throughout all of this, the titans of media have not, for even a second, let Trump breathe. Trump. This is an amazing article. I'm sad that I didn't write it. This is from BuzzFeed News, and it says Trump tweeted something bad again. And do you need anything more? This is such a perfect title. Let's just read the tweet here. It says, report. Dominion deleted 207 million Trump votes nationwide. Data analysis finds 200 whatever. He's saying that there were votes, and at least Twitter is good, and they say, hey, this is false, right? Don't listen to Donald Trump. But I'm glad that people are finally calling him out on his BS. Do you think that anyone believes him when he whines like this on Twitter?
No, he's shouting out to a wall essentially, probably his own.
Yeah.
It's a case of his supporters might believe him, his little fascist Trump youth, deviants and monsters. They probably believe his lies. But us and people like us who are smart and talented, we know otherwise. We're just too smart to fall for these things.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, and this is such. He did this thing in all caps. He was angry tweeting this. He was probably in the bathroom taking a poop.
I think he's going senile. I mean, in sharp contrast to Joe Biden, who's still healthy and spry.
Is Donald Trump even mentally fit to be president right now? Like,
No.
can we just impeach him so we can get this Joe Biden inauguration out of the way, and just get by? I mean, because people are already treating Biden like president, because he's it's been so long since we had a respectable president that like people are jumping at the bit. Why can't Biden just be president today? Why
Oh,
do we have to wait till inauguration?
did you get your invitation through the post?
Uh, I haven't opened it yet.
Oh, well, yeah, it's the invitation to go for ice cream with Joe Biden. I mean, I received mine this morning.
That's what that envelope with the big B seal on it was.
Yeah. So
I didn't
basically,
open that yet.
when Joe Biden gets in the White House,
I just thought that was
on the very first.
another like
Oh,
donation letter, like another donation thank you.
no, no. I mean,
Or was it an
we're
invitation?
going. We're going. I mean, Dustin got his. Lawyer Andy got his.
I'll have to double check.
So yeah, we're going to the White House with Joe Biden for ice cream.
It's amazing.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know Lindsay sent out some stuff like this before, and then when we all showed up, she just kind of laughed at us. Do you remember that?
Well,
You don't think it's like that?
you know what Lindsay's like. But I mean, this is the real deal. This is the real Joe Biden
This
here.
is Joe Biden
This is
inviting us
this
to the
is
White House.
Joey B.
I'm excited. I can't believe it. I thought Lindsay was just gonna take us all to Carvel's. I just thought that's what was the ice cream party gonna be. But
Oh
I'm glad.
no.
It's
We're
been so
actually,
long. It's been so long since we all been quarantined away from the office, and I miss the office every single day.
Oh yeah. I mean, I mean, watching you cry about that is heartbreaking. I mean, I miss The Office. I miss the breaks. Like we'd sit and watch Amy Schumer's comedy specials. I miss that
Yeah,
terribly.
I miss when we used to just be able to kind of just be friends and like there wasn't anything weird.
Yeah. But, it is what it is. But
Yeah, it is.
it's sad.
We should get on with the news. So the right to repair bill recently passed here in Massachusetts. Do you know anything? Have you heard about this right to repair bill?
I haven't. No, you're gonna have to educate me on
So
this.
this is obviously being a little bit of a Boston organization.
Well,
here.
have you got the approved opinion on this?
Yeah, this is from the approved opinion on this is the right to repair is bad. Wait,
okay,
wait.
it's bad.
Let me explain this. You should have voted. These are always confusing because like how do you vote on this? You should have voted against being able to repair it yourself. So I think that's voting
Okay.
yes.
All
Well,
right.
here's why. If you guys didn't know the whole rights to repair thing, the main problem is that when you allow people to repair their own vehicles wherever they want, I mean, it opens a huge avenue for gay men and women to be assaulted. I mean, think about this. You go. Let me give you a hypothetical that it's just a hypothetical. So please, lawyers, don't get on me. It's hypothetical. Theoretically, you are an African American BLM protester. You run a Facebook page. You're very popular. You're very well known. And you decide, hey, I'm gonna go to this mechanic here in Alabama, because you heard that they did a good oil change. So you go to this mechanic in Alabama, and then that mechanic, who's a KKK supporter, will then cut your brake lines, and you're dead. It's that
Wow.
simple. I mean, and women can get raped. I mean, it's happened, right? These are all things that happen when you have the right to repair your own vehicle. I mean, this is why we need oversight. We need the oversight of these auto manufacturers who can make sure that people aren't hacking into your telemetry when they're fixing your brake line, right? Or here's the other thing. I think we need to push this right to repair thing further. In my opinion,
In what sense?
in what sense? I think we should expand this. I think we should, we shouldn't have a right to repair our own cars, of course, because it's not safe and it's dangerous for women. So instead, we should sort of extend this so that we also don't need to repair our own homes. Because I mean, how many people have died?
Too many.
Yeah, too many people have died, right? So let's stop that by letting realtors, have control over the home repair. It would solve so many problems. I mean, you'd get less cases of bad actors coming into homes and screwing with the security system. I mean, because you can always trust the people who sold you something to repair it, is what I'm trying to say. And there should be no expectation that you should be able to, quote unquote, repair it yourself. I mean, come on, these people need to be able to make a living off this, right? You can't just be a freeloader on these products.
But well, I'm just hoping that Biden and the Biden plan has something to address this.
I'm hoping the Biden plan just completely, squashes this whole right to repair bill. I stand corrected. You're supposed to vote no on the right to repair bill. I just did a little check there. If you didn't already, we're kind of screwed. This is just in Massachusetts right now, so I think Biden is going to need to sort of isolate Massachusetts, quarantine Massachusetts to stop this sort of radical right to repair idea from spreading across the country. Because this could really, this is endangering the lives of millions of American women and gay people and victimized folks.
And journalists as well.
Journalists, name them. Right?
It's just terrifying for me, honestly. I just don't feel safe anymore.
It just doesn't make sense. And I don't know why people are so complaining. Like, people should just get used to the idea that eventually, and this is just the way the world goes. Like, don't freak out about it. Eventually, you're going to have to pay a car subscription. Maybe, you'll get your license revoked if you don't pay your subscription. That's fine. I mean, the government should be able to work with car manufacturers. Car manufacturers should control the means of repair. And you should buy a new car when they tell you to buy a new car. Lease. Don't buy, actually. Just lease. Everything should be leased, rented.
It's like, for me, I don't really want to do things myself. Why would I want to? I have Joe Biden now.
Here's the problem with right to repair. 1, it's unsafe. 2, self-actualization never helped anybody. All you're going to do is screw things up. 3, the dealership knows better about how to fix your own car than you do. Or anybody does. Don't bring it to the mechanic. And 4, small business is the tool of fascists. Anyway, that concludes the stories you want to discuss. We'll continue here with a little bit of election that never ends coverage. I'm trying to condense it all into one little package so that people can skip over to once the election's over and we've all accepted Joe Biden. But I'll see you in the election that never ends coverage. Welcome to the election that never ends. If you're like me, you're currently disenfranchised, and you're just wondering when all the screaming will be over and you can get back to your daily life. Well, we're here with some updates to keep you posted on the recent results as far as Biden's winning is concerned. Nev, before we even start this, if you had to guess, how many more weeks are we going to have to be doing this election that never ends coverage?
Well, as we know, there's more and more Biden votes that keep coming in by the day. So it just goes to show how popular Biden is. I mean, by the margins, he's more popular than historical figures like Reagan even. I mean, it's unprecedented. So I reckon give it about probably until the 20th of January. Then all the votes will probably be counted. Okay. And we know for sure that Biden's the winner.
Okay, good to hear. I'm glad. Recently, Trump's campaign filed some lawsuits in Michigan because they were saying that they weren't allowed to look at the votes, but obviously they could. That's lies. I got the votes on Google, dude. Everybody can look at the votes. This stuff is public information. This is clearly just another example of they're just trying to scare their supporters into supporting them. I mean, it's just.
I think as well. I mean, is it a bad thing of blocking these GOP poll watchers? It's to stop them from cheating.
Yeah, I mean, how's
that a bad thing?
It's for the greater good, I think.
I mean, if they were there counting, I mean, they'd probably, they'd blackmail the ballot watcher. It'd be terrible. There'd be so much fraud and cheating going on. I mean, we were lucky. We've got people like Ahkmed stopping that.
Yeah, I hate to use Fox News as a source here, but I just got to say, now that one of the positive things is that now that Biden has won, to actually find any news that involves Trump, you basically have to go to foxnews.com because all the real genuine news sources like NNN News spend most of their time focusing on Joe Biden now because Trump's old news. I mean, Trump's basically not even a contestant anymore. We should just turn away from Trump is what I'm saying.
Absolutely. I mean, We've already been seeing massive walkaway movements from the Republican Party to Biden now.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, people try to malign, malign those who come in, who leave late. But hey, whenever you realize that Joe Biden was the way, that's when you should join Joe Biden. The GOP just keeps on proving that there's no election fraud through all of their research. I mean, everybody knows that Trump lost. It's weird to me that no one has just, turned off Trump's Twitter or something. Like, just got him off there and just let the rest of this election just be quiet and just be waited out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that Twitter takes a good measure to ban him once this is all said and done. I mean, we don't need him on Twitter anymore. I mean, who really wants to listen to him? I mean, his 80-odd million followers are just bots anyway, most of them.
Yeah, I mean, he's Russian. He has Russian bot subscribers. It's really odd to me that he just won't just lay down and just let Joe Biden take this.
It's truly upsetting.
It is upsetting, and it's upsetting that it's turning into this like legal battle, right? Where this is what Trump wants it to be. He wants this oligarchy, right? Where this is being decided by money. He's saying that we need, he's trying to rally for funding for this crazy legal battle, and so is Joe Biden, guys. So if you haven't already, open up your wallet and donate to Joe Biden, like today, like right now. Because Joe Biden needs your help to fight.
I'm going to do it right after the show.
Do it during the show, dude.
All right, let me make a donation real quick.
And this is why I said we need another stimulus check. I think if Biden can Biden do executive orders before he becomes president. Oh, no, sorry, Neville's busy donating a stimulus check right now. Yeah, I have to wonder, can Biden pull an executive order? Right? I mean, he does have 290 votes, right? And I'm glad that there are some states that still haven't counted yet. I think it's a good move.
Okay, I've just donated $1,200 to Joe Biden.
Wow, that was quick. Where'd you get the money from?
Well, one of my old stimulus checks, I forgot to send it off.
Oh, okay.
So I just used that, just sent it off to Joe Biden.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean,
I'm going to keep donating even after his one.
Well, Journalists Excellence Worldwide did an amazing thing, and I wish more companies did this, where they docked our pay and they automatically donated, money out of our pay, and I thought that was such an amazing thing, and I hope they keep that up, right, to make sure that Biden
I
can
struggled
win
to
this
pay
legal
the bills and the rent and so on, but I mean, it was all worth it.
That's the price. I mean, when you tell me this. When you tasted that victory ice cream when Joe Biden walked out on stage and announced himself as president-elect, was it worth it?
Yes. It was the greatest moment in my life.
That's what I'm saying. It's however much money we spent to get Joe Biden elected, and we spent a lot of money.
Friends of journalism, Journalists Excellence Worldwide, so on. We were some of the biggest donators to the Biden campaign.
Yeah. With all the money we spent to get Joe Biden elected, it just made the ice cream taste sweeter. It was just, it's just every day we realize that we did the right thing. We won the election.
This is one of the most pivotal points in human history. We're witnessing right now.
And we get to be a part of this, and we got to donate to Joe Biden while he was running for office. I mean, do you know how powerful that is? So yeah, I'm gonna end the election.
This is probably more like potent than like Rosa Parks right
Rosa
now.
Parks,
I mean,
exactly. The point you want to take home with you is, yeah, this election may never end, but at least Joe Biden's gonna win it.
I mean, you don't need to worry. You can relax. You can sleep properly at night.
Yeah.
He's going to win.
Celebrate.
The Blumph is not going to do anything. It's a safe time. Relax.
So we are going to enter into a trigger warning segment here. Trump Watch, which is a deeply terrifying event, and I do not pity anyone who stays to watch that. But We're going to stay strong. We're going to power through the Trump watch. We'll see you there. Welcome to the Trump watch. And I want to start this segment off with something that I think just needs to be said and made abundantly clear to all you guys. Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. He got like 200 votes or something, 210 maybe, and Joe Biden is well over 290 at this point. If any of you guys in the comments are still going to say fraud, whatever. If any of you guys still think that Donald Trump won, you're a moron. You are literally the stupidest. You're stupider than anything. Because there's not a...
You're probably more stupid than Trump himself.
Yeah,
or maybe Mike Pence or something like that.
If you still think that Donald Trump won, you are so stupid that you shouldn't even be watching the show. Delete. Now.
I mean, just leave. Just get out of here.
Yeah.
You're not welcome.
Yeah, and now that we have that out of the way, let's get down to the facts. What should we do next? Trump has lost the election. What's the next step? I think the next step naturally is that Trump should be banned on Twitter. I mean, he every day he goes on Twitter and he spreads...
And arrested. He should be arrested and tried for treason.
Yeah, I think we need to send Trump to prison because every day he's going on Twitter and he's saying, just completely false things like, look, you said here, I won this election. No, you didn't, bud. Is your name Joe Biden? Right?
No, his name is Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, and thank you, Twitter.com, for saying that official sources have not called the race when this was tweeted. Thank you for saying that.
It's a good thing Ahkmed has campaigned for stuff like that to be on Twitter. Yeah. Otherwise, we might not be seeing it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that we have, we have some people on the inside that can help us. I really am, because otherwise we would just be we're lost trying to sort of fight upstream like this. And,
okay. What else have we got here on the Trump watch, Norm?
So there's this little bit of a hullabaloo where there's this postal worker who sort of is admitting, and this is probably the only real fraud that went on. This postal worker admits that he fabricated, Trump's voter fraud claims.
Oh. Well, you know what that means then? It's over.
Yeah, this is a clear example of. I mean, we thought the Russian collusion was bad last election. Mail-in voter fraud from Trump, postal rogue postal agents is far worse than Trump collusion during the last election. I mean, we need to. Can you impeach somebody who's no longer president? Because I think we need to.
I mean, I'm not really sure what to do about this. I mean, if this calls for life imprisonment. I mean, I was just thinking, just give him a light sentence, give him time to repent. But no, this is life sentence here now.
Yeah, it's a life sentence. It really is. And I just want to my heart goes out to all the brave postal workers who lost their lives bringing in these mail-in ballots this election. Now, a little early in the show, we talked about the sort of whole Alaska situation. And I know a lot of people are going to laugh at that. They're going to be like, oh, wow, this is funny and absurd, guys. But we, after the show, we were doing some reading on it, and we were just looking at it. And 2 postal agents got killed by polar bears this election in Alaska.
Can we have a moment of silence for these brave souls?
Please. Okay, that's enough. It's sad, and I want to say we support all postal workers.
That was 2 whole seconds, one for each postal worker.
We need to support the postal workers. We need to fund the postal service because the postal service is what
the workers.
Yeah, they arm them. This postal service is what saved the election. I mean, this was so close to just going down the downward spiral of Trump fascism, and then these brave men and women and trans people in the postal service came out. They came out in droves to stop the tyranny, to make sure that Biden won this election, and it's so beautiful. I mean, do you think they're ever going to make a movie about this? I mean, just because it feels almost like a movie with how beautiful it is.
Well, it's a coalition of postal workers, journalists, all those brave souls, activists who've gone out and saved the world. We saved the world, Norm.
We did. And you know who else really is out here trying to save the world, Nev?
Who?
China.
Oh, how so?
Well, China is out here, and their focus is on how can America improve its emissions, and how can America become, less polluting, become better people. China's out here trying to hold America to task, and all Trump wants to do is stop trading with China, because he knows how great and powerful of a nation it is. He's
Well,
right.
what
This specific story here is the White House is banning an investment that sort of aids in China's military. And why shouldn't China be allowed to have a great and powerful military?
Because Trump is scared.
He's scared.
I want to clarify: America is evil. China is a nice, humble nation who is a role model.
And of agricultural workers, yeah.
Good people.
Good, honest people. Good, honest American Chinese people. And I love China, and I just wish that Trump wasn't so hostile towards me. And do you think, or you think the rumors are true about Biden's relationship with China and his openness to sort of the beauty that will come out of the Orient if we let it?
Yeah, we're gonna see some wonderful, very beautiful things soon, and we're gonna have a wonderful relationship with China.
I'm glad. I think that I'm so sad that we've had to deal with such a hostile relationship. I was surprised we didn't go to nuclear war, honestly, under Donald Trump.
It was close. There were rumors going around from anonymous sources. He was almost about to press the big red button, but thankfully we didn't see that.
Yeah, thankfully, thankfully people held him back. And
it was a close one. We really all killed.
We need those people, and everybody, everybody who watches this show, who stands with us against tyranny. We need you to come out again, because Trump is attempting to form a pseudo coup, and it isn't working right now. But we can't let this take hold.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you can hear me. I can hear you now.
Okay. So, what was I saying? So about Trump being bad here.
You're trying to start a coup during this viral death.
Oh yeah. So Trump is bad. Trump is bad.
Okay, thanks for the input. And like this article says here, he's doing all of this whole coup when the coronavirus is just getting more real and more worse. It seems like every day.
The Trump virus. No,
the Trump virus.
You don't want to trigger our viewers.
Yeah. And I'm worried. Are Trump supporters ever going to march on Washington? Are they ever going to come out in the streets to sort of show support for them, or do they just not exist in big enough numbers?
Well, I don't think we would think about Trump supporters. They are not like BLM protesters. Trump supporters are violent. They are incited they incite hatred and division. So I don't think these people belong on the streets. I mean, if they're walking out with these red hats, they should be stopped by some nice postal workers and arrested.
Okay. Yeah. Well, do you know that they're actually planning a march? Yeah.
Another super spreader event right there.
I mean, did you just say another super spreader event? Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking, like exactly when I saw this. I
only expect like what, 3, 4 people to go.
Yeah, this is obviously Trump doesn't have supporters, so it's probably going to be a no-show. Even though they are predicting a million, they're calling it the Million MAGA March. My guess, they might get 100 people.
No, I think they'll get about 10, if they're lucky.
100 people?
No, just 10 people.
Well, we'll see. It's hard to say.
If they're lucky.
A lot of these events are no-shows. Here's the brass tacks. This can go one of two ways, and it really is as simple. This either is going to be a case of a no-show, or this is going to be a case of a COVID super spreader. There's no in between. It could be both, but there's no in between.
Well, I don't know. If 10 people had to go, I'd call that a super spreader event right there.
Oh, because I guess we don't. 10 people can turn into 100,000 people, right? It's just by doing it's like math. They see 10 of their friends without a mask on, and then they see 10 friends without a mask on, and suddenly Donald Trump made COVID virus come again to the United States.
I mean, you look at Trump's rallies versus Biden's. I mean, Trump, you don't get that many there. Lucky if he gets 100. Biden, I mean, you hear the car horns honking so loudly. I mean, do you hear the car horns at Trump's rallies?
I don't hear the car. I'd kind of like that. I don't like the car horns. I don't know why the car horns always have to be so loud.
Yeah, but these are Biden car horns.
I know they're Biden car horns, but I'm just trying to sleep, okay? Don't they understand the Biden boy lifestyle is a tough one, and sometimes I want to sleep past noon? Like, come on, can the car horns not go 24/7 because Biden won? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I suppose you have a point.
I don't know. Just cool it with the car horns. That's all I'm going to ask. Thank you, BLM.
No, at least it's not fireworks again.
At least it's not fireworks. Don't even get me started on fireworks.
Yeah, I know you get there triggered, and you can even get seizures from fireworks.
Scared, yeah, I guess. Freak out. Japanese officials here are slamming Trump for being a dictator, and I don't know why they deleted this tweet. They deleted this tweet, which kind of makes them pussies, right?
It's because they're scared. I mean, anyone should be, really.
I know Trump has his stormtroopers, and we don't know what Trump will do with his stormtroopers. I mean, anything. We kind of live under a dictatorship now, don't we, though?
Yes. I mean, it's hard to even put this into words, how just oppressed we are. Mm-hmm. It's terrible.
Do you think it's possible, Nev, that perhaps the elite know that this is supposed to be a dictatorship, and they let this slip?
I don't think the elites could do anything about it. I mean, we're very lucky now that we've got Joe Biden in, and Biden's going to rescue and save us all. And it's very lucky that this has come to be.
Okay.
I mean, the Japanese should be thanking Biden right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Japanese should be thanking Biden because clearly the Japanese know that Donald Trump is a dictator and that Joe Biden is the only thing that can save the world from this. And the UN should have retweeted this because I think this makes some really good points here. It's interesting that actually we might have an ally closer than we thought, and it's from the most unlikely candidate. Have you heard this? It's possible that Pence doesn't is trying to fight against Donald Trump.
Electroshock Pence.
I know it's crazy, but it seems like Pence might be coming to the good side here. I think Pence might just resign and leave Trump to cry and just not have his hands. I mean, so many Republicans are jumping ship, and I just wanted to say to all the Republicans jumping ship, there's nothing shameful about leaving at the last minute or anything. Just keep on jumping ship.
This is brilliant. I mean, if we see the light of Joe Biden, I mean, wow. I mean, we'd have to cut down Pence's prison sentence.
Yeah, and kids, keep an eye on beesfoot.com for some live reporting on sort of the Trump saga here, and the actual physical part of getting Trump out of office, because we'll be covering it the whole way. And the thing I want to close on here is Donald Trump is a danger to himself and others. He's recently been giving the entire Republican Party COVID. Corey Ledowskowicz is Trump's ally, and he just tested positive for COVID. I mean, we're seeing it all over the place now. It just seems like...
I mean, he's turning on his own at this rate. He's probably angry that they couldn't get him to victory.
He's a classic example of a sore loser. But, in summation... I was really happy that we were able to get Ahkmed on here to, give us his position on the theology of this whole thing and on the pollsters. I think it was really enlightening to learn about some of those Alaskan polar bears. What about you, Nev? What was your favorite part of the show?
For me, it was definitely speaking to Ahkmed and understanding the spiritual aspects of this election, understanding how the Republicans did
the spiritual warfare that was going on. I never knew about it. I mean, I knew about some of it, right? But I never knew about it. I never knew about how big it was,
I mean, it's just telling the news. It's just giving the chance for the viewers to hear the unmitigated, objective truth. That's my favorite part.
That's my favorite part. I also want to remind everybody, Thanksgiving is coming up. Make sure not to have one.
Yeah, just make sure that you do something productive. Maybe go out for a protest or go to a pride parade if you've got one near you.
Yeah, but don't. Thanksgiving is a super spreader event. Avoid it at all costs. And the only thing I want to say about the election is, if there was any voter fraud, it was in favor of Donald Trump. That's clearly the only voter fraud that could even be possible, even from a theoretical standpoint. Right to repair is fascist propaganda.
Alaska may be going red. We haven't got the
Alaska
Pelosi
may be going blue,
votes just yet.
Yeah.
Alaska is now a swing state.
Alaska is a swing state. Trump is fake. COVID is real. Wake up, America. Everybody, make sure to stay black, stay strong. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been NNN News. We'll see you in the next episode in like 2 weeks, whatever that happens. What do you think the world's going to look like in 2 weeks? Who knows?
We're going to have a Biden utopia.
A Biden utopia. Let's dream of it. I'll see you guys then.